What's good and new, everyone? It's Seth, and in this video, I'm going to show you how to add $10,000 a month to your coaching, consulting, or service-based offer. I've used these 4 principles that I'm going to show you to help people close 1 to 5K sales and have 5-figure months. So let's get into it without further ado. And this is going to be completely live. I'm not doing no editing. We're just going straight into the training, and you're going to get some value. So let's add 10K a month to your business. So who's this for? It's for coaches, consultants, and service-based businesses in the niches of health, relationships, and money. These are the eternal niches. These are the niches that people always pay money for. What to expect. You'll learn 4 principles that you can use to close 1 to 5K sales with your coaching, consulting, service-based offer, and you'll be able to utilize these same principles to get more paying clients and keep them around longer, which is what everyone wants. If you want more direct help with these principles, the next realm is currently open during the time of me filming this. We'll help you add $10,000 a month to your coaching business in the niche of health, relationships, or money. And if we aren't open when you watch this, just join the newsletter. There's a link below to get notified first when we're open. So why even listen to me? Why do I know that I can help you add $10,000 a month to your business? In 2021, I was broke, sleeping on a basement floor, and by 2023, I grossed over $1 million in online business revenue. How did I do this? My first 100K was made in OnlyFans management for one creator. And if you have a problem with that, you're free to leave now. But if you stick around, I promise you're going to get some value. So just hang around and have a listen. Cool? Still here? Great. I'm going to be calling it OF from now on, because I'm pretty sure the algorithm isn't going to like that. But anyways, I took that one creator, scaled her up to over $300,000 a month, and then I coached people in that business and got them all over $10,000 a month. I had a group of over 100 people, and everybody made at least $10,000 a month. It was the minimum. It's what I promised, and it's what I got people. That was the baseline. I took those skills from the OF business and I started helping coaches in different niches because people had seen how my life had changed. I was completely broke before, and somehow magically my life had absolutely transformed, and people were asking me questions, and I realized I had the skills to help them. So the goal was to get coaches to add $10,000 a month and close 1 to 5K sales. How does OF relate to this? Because all business is the same. It's just the products and the customers that change. All service-based business is the same. Coaching and consulting agencies, these are all service-based things. So you can see over here, we have some wins: $4,500 sales, $1,250 sales, 11K months. We make it happen. So why am I doing this though? Why don't I just stay in the adult biz? Nobody has to know who I am. I can scale things up, make a whole bunch of money, build some adult empire. I'll tell you why. Because of Jay-Z. And no, not because Jay-Z told me to do this, but because I resonate with Jay-Z's story. Jay-Z grew up in Brooklyn, in the hood, broke and destitute, and he became a drug dealer in order to survive and fend for himself. But he knew that that wasn't what he wanted to do with his life. He knew he wanted to do more. He was good at music and he wanted to be an artist. So he took the skills that he learned from dealing and the money, and he flipped it into music. And now he is a $1 billion net worth plus rapper entrepreneur. And I relate to this because in 2021, I was broke, very broke, sleeping on the floor. I had family to take care of. I had people to take care of, and I was ashamed because I could not take care of them. I literally had no money. And my parents were both sick. My parents had both had strokes back to back, a month apart. They're both sick. They both couldn't work. My mom was struggling to make mortgage payments. And me, as her oldest son, could not help her. And I happened to be sitting there in the basement like, I need to change my life. And through a series of events, I came upon finding the OF business, and I did it because I felt like I had to. I felt like this is what I needed to do in order to provide for my people, in order to make some money, right? And then I happened to find I was good at it. But I knew that isn't where I wanted to stay for the rest of my life, because I'll tell you this, I've helped a lot of men change their lives. I've helped a lot of men with money, relationships, their mindset, all this stuff. But I was making money taking advantage of a lot of men's loneliness. And there was a point in time where I felt kind of guilty and kind of ashamed about that. But now I realize it was a necessary step to teach me the skills necessary to help more people in the world in what I deem to be a more holistic way. So that's why I'm doing this, because I'm called to do it. I took the skills from one thing, I'm flipping it into something else, and I feel like I'll be able to help more people. OF was a stepping stone for me. I now want to assist more people in a holistic way, and my top 3 values are business, relationships, and teaching. And I feel like I can get those values into the world and assist more people through those values by doing what I do now. With that being said, like and subscribe, and it's time to get into it. So we're going to talk about 4 things. We're going to talk about product, traffic, sales, and retention. First thing is product. And a lot of people mess this up because they do not know who they are talking to or what problem they solve with their product or their offer. So in my old house that I was renting, in the bathroom, the plugs did not work. And my wife could not get her hair iron plugged in, and it was a mess, and we had to get some big long extension cord, plug it in the bedroom, and it run through the bedroom into the bathroom, and you're tripping over it, and it's dangerous, and she can't get her hair done. It's a freaking mess because the plugs in the bathroom, in the master bathroom, did not work. So we had a problem. Our plugs weren't working. We needed some help. So what do? We call an electrician. The electrician's offer is to fix our plugs, and we paid him money in order to fix the plugs. And he fixed them, and my wife could get her hair curled. That is a very simple structure of what an offer is. Somebody has a specific problem. You have the skills and the methods to fix that problem, and then they get a dream outcome: hair curling. So your offer or your product needs to solve a problem for a specific person and get them from a pain state to a dream state. So pain state was plugs aren't working. Dream state is we can use the plugs and the hair iron works. Fantastic. And it involves a clear process they can follow. Where so many people mess up is that they are not clear about what they do. They're like, oh, I teach you mindset so you can live a better life. That's not clear enough at all. No one cares about that. That stuff doesn't sell. No one cares, right? But you can sell mindset. But people need to have a clear process and a clear outcome. I teach you how to better your mindset so you can make more money, or so you can get more fit, or so you can have a better relationship, or so you can date more women, whatever it is. There needs to be a clear outcome and a clear way to get there. You know, actually, one more thing about product before we get to it. The more specific you are about the problem you solve, and the more specific you are about the person you're talking to, the more money you're going to make. So imagine you love to play basketball, but you have a wrist problem. And this wrist problem is preventing you from playing basketball. So you go to a doctor, and the doctor tells you, you know what, we're going to need to do surgery on your wrist, man, and I don't think you're ever going to play basketball again. That's very disheartening. So you decide that you're going to get a second opinion, and you go to a second doctor, and that doctor tells you, nah, man, we're going to have to do surgery on your wrist, man. I don't think you're going to play basketball again. And you go, oh, man, can't believe this is happening. This is a nightmare. And something just tells you, let me just check with one more person. I heard about this guy who fixes this problem. It's a little weird, but maybe it works. And you contact this guy who's apparently helped 500 people with this very problem, never had to do surgery. And you contact him and he tells you, you know what? The problem's actually not in your wrist. It's in your shoulder. And I've helped over 500 people fix this wrist problem, and you'll be able to play basketball again. It's going to take 3 months to do the protocol to fix up your shoulder, but by the end of it, your wrist is going to be good as new and you will play basketball again. And I've done this for over 500 people. It works. It's $5,000 and it takes 3 months to do. you're going to be very incentivized to pay that man $5,000 and get your wrist fixed and play basketball again. It is a specific problem for a specific person. And when you do that, you make way more money. So you need to think about that with your offers. Who are you actually talking to? And what are you actually solving for them? What problem are you dealing with? Because people only buy things because of pain, not for pleasure. They buy it to escape pain. Even the groceries. If you go to the grocery store, you are trying to escape the pain of starvation and death. So you will spend your money to go to the grocery so you can live and survive. And this is how you have to start thinking about offers. What problems are you solving for what people, and what process do you bring them through to do it? That's all I'm going to talk about. Product. Traffic. This is super important. This is how you make the money. Traffic equals money. I don't care what anybody else on the internet is telling you. Oh, you can make money with 500 followers. You need traffic. Traffic equals money. Anybody else telling you any different is lying to you. All right? So I want you to look at these people. These people are all in the coaching space, and you might know some of them. You got Dan Coe. He has over 700,000 YouTube subs. You got Wes Watson, over 520,000 YouTube subs. Vanessa Lau, 820K YouTube subs. Kino Body, 740,000 YouTube subs. Teal Swan, 1.9 million YouTube subs. Do you think these people are making money? Of course they are. Dan Coe made over $4 million last year with a 2-person team. Okay? Traffic equals money. And I learned this from the OF business. In the OF business, it's a traffic business. You're always looking for ways to get seen, and you need to do the same thing with your coaching offer. I don't care what anybody tells you about, oh, you don't need as much traffic. You don't need as much followers to get paid. We're going to talk about that in a second, but I need you to dispel this out of your mind. What they are doing is they are trying to negate a fact that you know to be true so they can sell you. But I'm not like that. I'm honest about this shit. So now there are people with low levels of attention and they make a lot of money, but that's because they're hyper niched with extreme levels of value. They're the exception to the rule. So there are some people with 500 followers making $50,000 a month, but they are hyper specific and hyper niche. They are exceptions. We don't deal with what's rare. We deal with what works. That's what you want to do. Deal with what works. Why not increase your odds of success instead of trying to win the lottery? Don't do that. Next. Appearance sells. I know this just stopped you in your tracks. Why? Because appearance sells. And I obviously learned this from the OF business because that's why people buy, okay, in that particular business. Now listen, you do not have to take off your clothes to get attention. You really don't. But you do need to take your appearance seriously. It's very important in terms of getting traffic. You need to be able to show up on video, and you need to be able to take your appearance seriously and show up as your best all the time. If you go back to these coaches, right? Dan Coe, Wes Watson, Kino Body, they all work out. They're all fit. Quite sure Vanessa Lau and Teal Swan are also fit and take care of their health. And they show up as their best when they show up online because it matters. People are buying into you. And the more attractive you are, the more money you will make. I'm not saying you need to be a supermodel because you really don't. But you do need to show up as your best. You know, try and stay well groomed, wear clothes that fit. I'll tell you something. The only reason I work out is because it's good for my business. That is literally the only reason I work out. If you saw my values, they were business, relationships, and teaching. It wasn't health and working out and exercise. Okay? I literally work out because it's good for my business. Because if I'm more fit, that appeals to people. That demonstrates something of my character already by just looking at me. So you don't have to look like Kino Body or Wes Watson, but just show up as your best. Be healthy, drink water, eat decent. It's going to better your business. And if you value business, then just take care of your health because it's going to help you out. It's going to assist you a lot. The number one factor for attention online is appearance. So rig the deck in your favor and do the best things you can to better your appearance. Back to talking about what works over what's rare. If you have the money, pay for the attention. Okay? I'm talking about retweets, shout outs, pages in your niche. If they take payments for shout outs, ads, pay for it, because that's what is going to work. That is what brings attention to you. So I'll tell you a story. When I first started with the OF Creator, our first month was $400. And I was like, this is not correct. How are we supposed to have any sort of living with this? $400, no way. So what did I do with my broke self? I had a little bit of crypto that I really didn't want to touch, but I met somebody who was making $60K a month in the industry, and I paid him $1,000 for a 1 hour call, and he taught me how to get traffic in the OF business. So what I do, took $350 on a credit card, used it to get traffic, and that next month we made $2,000, and then the following month we made $4,000. Okay? Because we paid for attention. We paid for traffic. Anybody else telling you any different and trying to make you interact and engage with people for hours upon hours of your day, don't listen to them. Just pay for it if you have some of the money. Now, if you don't have money, utilize YouTube. You should be utilizing YouTube whether you have money or not. But if you don't have money, you need to utilize your time, and you need to use YouTube, and I'm going to tell you why. First of all these people back here are all massive YouTubers, and they're all making millions of dollars, right? Why YouTube? YouTube is the best platform for getting new clients, right? They spend more time with you. They get a better idea of who you are, and they buy. Instagram takes longer because it's all short, and the Instagram algorithm is changing every 4 seconds. It's like a bipolar woman that gives you nothing but problems. That's the Instagram algorithm. But you can't build on Instagram, but I'd rather not. Twitter is annoying to me. Look, I actually like to write. I actually like to write a lot. So Twitter is something I do actually like to do, but growing on Twitter organically is difficult. And it takes a lot of time of engaging with people, and everybody's engaging under comments, and we all know it's fake, and we all know we're just trying to grow. So it's not like the easiest place to grow. LinkedIn, I don't have much experience with, but it depends on the niche. And there's a guy in the next realm who manages a coach who uses LinkedIn heavy, and they're killing it. So yeah. So what to do on YouTube? You got to make content about the problem you solve, like I am doing right now. And you need to be consistent. Let me ask you this. If you go to date a girl, right, and she says, I'm going to show up on Friday. And Friday comes and she flakes on you. And then she goes, oh, I'm sorry. I'm going to show up next Friday. I promise. And then next Friday comes and she flakes on you. She goes, oh my gosh, I'm so sorry. I can't believe it. Like, I feel so bad about this. I can't believe it. I promise. I'm going to show up next week, Friday. And then next week, Friday comes by and she flakes. Now, let me ask you something. Are you going to keep waiting on this girl? Are you going to invest your time, your attention, your money, your energy into this girl? No, you're not. Because she has demonstrated that she is inconsistent and obviously not interested in you. So consistency demonstrates a part of character. You need to show up consistently on whichever platform you're using, YouTube in this case. Now, if you're on my channel now, I've unlisted a bunch of my videos, but if you were here from the beginning, you know I have over 100 videos in less than a year that I put out. There was a time I did a 30-day sprint. I put out a video a day, but now I've kind of really decided who I'm talking to and what I'm dealing with, so I've unlisted a lot of videos. But I was consistently showing up, and there are people who have joined the next realm simply because I showed up consistently, because it demonstrates something in your character. It demonstrates that if you are consistent showing up for free, imagine how you're going to be consistent helping people when they pay you, when they invest in you. That's why you need to be consistent, not just because of the algorithm and all that crap. It's because you are giving a message to people with consistency. Now, long form is also going to give you the best return on investment because people spend more time with you. People need to spend at least 7 hours of time with you to trust you. Sometimes you can condense that, But the more time they spend with you, the more likely they are to trust you, the more likely they are to buy. You can do that with YouTube. Now, sales. Everyone's obviously interested in this. Sales happen from conversations, not content. So I'll give you an example from the OF biz. All the money in OF is made from conversations, from upselling people. You know, it's cheap to get in, and then you upsell people into more exclusive content. That's where all the money is made. 80% of most people's revenue comes from that, because sales happen in conversations, not content. Unless you are a massive creator, right? You're 700K Dan Co. You're going to have what we call warm traffic. People who know you and trust you and have spent a lot of time with you, they'll buy. But if not, you need to have conversations with people and find out what their problems are so you can help them. So how do you have conversations? Email, Telegram, DMs, get people to join your newsletter, get people to join a Telegram, DM people, get people to DM you, talk to people. That's how you're going to get sales. And the reason you need to have a conversation is to get more specifics about the problem someone has, and then you tailor your solution to them if you can actually help them. So for instance, let's say you have an offer that is lose 10 pounds in 8 weeks, I guess, right? I don't know about fitness, but let's say lose 10 pounds in 8 weeks. And somebody comes to you and they say, well, I don't really want to lose 10 pounds, but I do want to build some more muscle. Are you able to help in that regard? If you have that skill and that ability to help them, you say yes and you help them. That is money you would have missed out on. Now, I'm not saying take every client, but if you can help them, help them. And why not get paid to do it? So that's why you need to have conversations, because also when you have the conversation, people feel more connected to you and they feel like your program or whatever it is you offer is going to be more tailored to them. So, conversations. Landing pages do work, but in a couple situations in today's day and age, in today's market, one-time offers, which are usually low to mid ticket. So this works on Instagram, for instance. If you're on Instagram scrolling and you get an ad for a product, you might actually go buy it. Or you get an ad for a course, you might actually buy it because it's a one-time offer. It's a one-time purchase. They're not asking for a lot of commitment from you. But you need to have a conversation if people are going to commit to you. So landing pages work for one-time offers, lower ticket, and a super warm audience like I talked about before. If you're a Dan Co or a Teal Swan, people have spent so much time with you, they're super, what you would call warm, and they'll buy. Now, usually anything over 3K usually needs a convo. It depends on the offer, but under 3K, if you have a warm audience, you can sell that. Now, talking about high ticket and over 3K, don't go straight for a high ticket sale. I know this is taught so much, get people on a call, get people spending 3 to 5K, blah, blah, blah. Here's my experience from the OF business. To get into a creator's page, it's either free or it's very cheap. And then people end up becoming high ticket clients over time. There's people that have spent $20,000 with one of the models, right? High ticket money. So don't go straight for a high ticket sale. What you want to do, actually, also don't go straight for monthly recurring revenue either. That's what this MMR means, monthly recurring revenue, which is like a subscription or a membership. Don't do that right off the jump either, because that's too much commitment. And I just told you, people are afraid to commit. They're not afraid to spend money. They're afraid to commit. So you need them to build a little trust. Going from $0 to 5K is a big jump for most people. That's like going up to a girl saying, "Hey, how you doing? You want to sleep together?" That might work for some people, but it's not going to work for most. No. So the sales flow is starting with something low ticket. 10 to $100. So it could be an ebook, it could be a course, it could be a template, a doc, something that gets a little bit of money out of them. right? And then they're more likely to spend more. So I used to sell knives. I used to work for this company called Vector Marketing, and I used to sell Cutco. Some of you may know this. These are like these super high quality kitchen knives, and they're expensive. So what I used to do, we would try and sell a big set, or we would try and sell, pieces for big money. But what would end up happening is that I came to find that if I could just get a little money out of somebody, they'll call me back to buy more. So I used to sell the butter knife, which is like a steak knife in itself, but it's also a butter knife. I used to sell them the butter knife for 50 bucks. Okay, that knife was 50 bucks. But then you know what would happen? The knife was so good, they called me back and bought the set. So low ticket money. And then once they've spent once, they're more likely to keep spending because money loves motion. Money loves to be in motion. Money loves movement. So you have to get them moving. Once they spend once, it's easier to get them into a monthly recurring product or a high ticket. It depends on your offer, but you got to get a little something first. And give a bonus and a discount for annual commitment. So let's say you have a program that's $300 a month. So that's $3,600 a year. Cut that down to $3K, so you're giving them a discount, 2 months off, and include a bonus. Whether, I don't know, they get something extra or an extra course or maybe a longer call with you, something as a bonus to reward them for paying in full. Because then you don't have to worry about churn because they already paid for the entire year. And that way you also instantly have a high ticket product. Don't have to make something different. Retention. This is the last thing you want to learn, okay? And implement. Retention. So what does that mean? That basically means keeping people around. The people who are paying you month to month, keeping them around. So imagine you had a platform and you stand on this platform and it's held up by 4 legs. And if this platform falls down, you're basically toast. This platform is very high up in the sky. And if this thing falls, you're done. Okay? Now, 1 month passes and, oh, you lose a leg. Oh, shoot. The platform's getting shaky. What are we going to do? Oh, my goodness. 2 legs are gone. 2 legs. We're doomed. So what do? You rush. Look to find another leg. Somebody bring another leg. Please. Oh my gosh. My business is going to crumble. Everything's going to crumble. I'm going to be done. So you find 2 more legs to put on the platform. And you're back to being like, oh, okay. Thank God. Right. The thing with retaining people, it's keeping the legs on your platform so that you aren't on shaky ground all the time, anxious and nervous all the time. You have a baseline of knowing how much money you're going to make and you can live in more peace. So for instance, with the creator I worked with, we knew that she was going to make at least 4 to 5K a month at minimum. So we could make decisions based upon that. Everything else was gravy. Everything else was sales and conversations and stuff like that. But we knew 4 to 5K was coming in per month. We can make different decisions in life now due to that. So that's why you want to retain people, because you don't want to go crazy looking for other people all the time and then neglecting the people you already have. Retention boils down to price and value. Do they get more out of the service than what they pay? And sometimes it's not the result that keeps people around, but access to you. So for instance, let's say you run that fitness program that helps people lose 10 pounds. Somebody might lose the 10 pounds, but they want to stay around because they want access to your mind, because maybe they have different goals now. Maybe they want to lift heavier, or they want to get a better physique in some regard. They want bigger shoulders. Now they have access to your mind. They have access to you, and it's worth them continuing to pay to get access to you. That's one way that people stay around, So it's not necessarily always the results. On the other hand, there might be somebody who's done your lose 10 pounds challenge and they only lose 8, but it's better than them losing none and they still want access to you. And money loves motion, like I said before. So your offer needs to have motion as well. Constantly update it, keep it active, keep things moving, because if it's stagnant, it will die. There are some people that build programs. They build a course and they have a community, and the course never gets updated. Nothing ever changes. The community dies out. They never talk in the community because they wanted passive income, and it just flutters out. You need to keep things moving, update things, be active in your communities, build new learnings, keep it moving. Otherwise, people will leave. So remember that money loves motion. Remember this forever, please. Those who pay you get treated better. It's that simple. So I'll tell you another story. When I had first started dating my wife, I was still talking to some like other chicks and stuff like that, some other girls. But I was with my now wife for a good chunk of months, and something told me, man, I want to go check some other girl. I'm gonna go check some other girl. She's good looking. I'm gonna hit her up. I'm gonna DM her, and we're gonna go for smoothies or some crap, right? And my girl knew this because I'm honest. Okay, she knew it, and she was upset. But I was like, I want to do what the hell I want to do, right? Don't worry, I'm getting to a decent conclusion. I'm not a jackass. Okay, I was. My ways have changed. So, day comes that I'm gonna go link up with this girl, and it rains. No date. Boom. And I was like, you know what? Sometimes God works in mysterious ways. I definitely was not supposed to go on that date at all. And I thought to myself, I'm like, what the hell am I doing? I have a woman who is highly invested in me, who loves me, who is hot, who would do anything for me, would lay in traffic for me. You know what I mean? Would just do the most. And I'm going to go take my time and my money and my energy to go check some other chick who I might sleep with. Maybe. And I thought to myself, how stupid could that be? That is so foolish. And that is what you are doing to people when they pay you and you're more concerned about new leads and new people and new customers coming in. You must treat the people who pay you better than the people who haven't. You understand? I call it cheating on your spouse. Don't cheat on your spouse, as in your clients. Don't do that. Your clients are the most important people, not leads, not maybes, not followers. Your clients are the most important people in your business. And it will help your offer out a lot if you genuinely care about helping your clients. That is the ultimate retention strategy. I have been in some programs and communities because I've been in a ton of them. I've spent all the money so you don't have to. When you get into my program, I already know everybody's stuff because I paid for it. But I've been in some where the coach or the leader, they do not care about the people in there. They're there to get money. Okay? Versus there's other communities I've been in that the leader goes above and beyond to help people and make them get results because they actually care. And that's why you need to know your values. Because if you actually value helping people, you will treat your clients better and you will actually care and you will actually help them in the way that you're supposed to help them. That's the best retention strategy. Caring. So, next steps. The next realm, you can join the next realm and get help with all this stuff if we're open, because we close every now and then, open it back up. So I don't know if when you're watching this, if we'll be open, but if we're closed, I'll be running a workshop soon. I give you training and templates to get and retain more clients. And you can ask questions about anything to do with your offer or your business, even if it's not on the topic of the workshop. And join the Income Alchemy newsletter. Link is in the description below for updates on when the next realm is open and when workshops are happening. Be sure to like and subscribe. I appreciate y'all. I hope that was helpful, and peace.